What's going on, everybody? This is Professor Crypto Banana here, and I am not too thrilled about today's video. Why? Because I'm going to drop down some of the things I think I made mistakes on and that I was wrong on. So I'm going to put that on full display. Before we get started, I got to let you know I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I hope to be. If you do anything that I say, you're going to lose all your money. You're going to lose your house, your mama house. It's going to be really bad. I'm not a crypto expert. These are just my opinions, and as always, do your own research. So with that being said, class is now in session. Let's get it. So first thing, I had a crazy prediction out there. I said potentially Netvrk could be introduced in the Cardano Summit. Now if you don't know what Netvrk is, they are doing metaverse, virtual reality, allowing a lot of other projects to get in on that, and they're doing a lot of partnerships. I saw that they were partnered with Meld. Neither Netvrk or Meld put that stuff on full blast, so I thought that I found something like, ooh, I got in early, discovered something, and they were keeping it low-key because they would announce it during the summit. But looking at the prices and at Twitter, I don't think that that's going to be the case. So if it still does happen, that'd be great, but I'll be monitoring the key points from the summit, but I don't think that happened. However, I'm still very bullish on this project. I see a lot of the partnerships that they're doing, low market cap, high risk, high reward, but I still have a lot of good hopes for this project. So second thing that I learned is not to speculate. You may think that it's going to work out well, but in reality, it doesn't always pan out. In fact, it can go the opposite. So I learned that, especially even dabbling with Cardano. I thought that, hey, with the smart contracts coming out, when it was happening around that time frame, it was going to take off. That it was going to be a success. A lot of projects are going to migrate over. There's going to be a lot more funds in the Cardano ecosystem, but that did not happen. In fact, the opposite happened, probably because of some FUD events, maybe some people taking profits and leaving. I'm not sure. But that definitely hurt a little bit, enough for me to learn my lesson. So it just goes to show that sometimes I may think that something may happen, but in reality, it's the complete opposite. So my strategy now is to get into projects that I like, not anything that is a pump and dump, because when it's just hype, it's unsustainable. Oh, the hype, the hype, the hype. Because with any, let's say, roller coaster, there's always going to be that drop. So I prefer more of waiting for the dust that is settled, maybe got overlooked, forgotten, but the team is still doing major developments. They're still there. They're still taking care of business, and perhaps is at a discounted rate, but has a lot of great utility as well. So that's going to be my strategy. And then that way, if I invest in it, I'm not getting heart attacks over the price or have other plans lined up afterwards saying, oh, well, if that were to have doubled, then I can always put a bag in this different project. And now all of a sudden, everything's out of whack because not only do I not have my original bag, I lost some of it, so now I'm left with a lot less, and you get the point. So that's another strategy I'm going to be taking a look at. I'm also going to abandon the experiment that I had with looking at CryptoGraph ratings. It was the idea that there are a lot of projects out there coming out on private sale. You can take a look at the rating that is given across all the different platforms and then wait for it to happen on public sale, snatch as much as I can right at the beginning, and then, if it doubles, quickly jump out. Looking at the charts, if I'm early, yes, I could probably get a double in certain places, but it's just too much. Again, speculation. That's not what I'm going for anymore. I prefer that reliable growth, and I can just walk away. Similar to planting a tree, and then you walk back. Perhaps some trees don't grow, but then other ones are huge. You go, wow, that's awesome. I didn't even think about it. I completely forgot about it, honestly. I didn't even know. I knew it was a good idea, but haven't been checking up on it, and it's been maybe collecting staking rewards as well, so that's even more of a bonus. Hey, this is really cool. So at the same time, that requires me to also dig into the development team, check out the Telegram, Discords, do my research more, making sure that this has a great foundation and that it has the best chance to grow. So let's see what else I have learned. Another thing is do not borrow, do not leverage, just, in fact, have more of a budget. So sometimes I stress out because I see a major dip And what's a common theme that you'll hear? Buy the dip, buy the dip. Ah, well, guess what, Johnny? I already deployed all my funds that I had. Okay? I thought it was already at a great price. I thought it was going to go higher. I really believed in the project, so I deployed all my funds. I don't have anything extra to go. It's going to take me a little bit while to back up. But then I think, maybe I could borrow here. I could shift around my budget a little bit and push myself a little bit further. I'm not going with that idea anymore, because when you try to jump the gun, or I should say when I try to jump the gun, I'm noticing that I think it's the best time, but it's very difficult to time. Meaning, I may think it's a low price, and then next week I find out it goes out even lower. However, I'm still paying the extra consequences, not only because the price dropped more, I have to now deal with the consequences of not having the budget the way that I needed it to. So that is an issue. Now, how do I handle looking at a project saying, oh, that was the dip, I wanted to get in, and it just went up 50%. Shoot! One thing I'm going to tell myself is that congratulations on identifying a project and the timing, because the more often I do that, the better chance I have of next time identifying a similar project. So what I'm doing is working. Don't beat myself up for it. It was a missed opportunity, but the bus comes every day. So there are plenty of overlooked crypto projects. There are some that are no longer in rotation as of yet, but it could happen. There are new projects coming out, so don't worry about it, because there's plenty of opportunity in this space. So chill. That is why I'm going to be doing a budget. Too oftentimes I try to deploy all my capital in a week or two, and then I'm left kicking myself, because then for the next 2 weeks I discover a great project that I would have way preferred to get into, but I don't have the funds. At the same time, I don't want to be sitting on funds when I see projects that I think are really great and it's a great opportunity. So what do? I'm going to have it set up so that I can do a weekly deposit, and then with that decide what I want to do with it. So if there is a project that I know that's coming out in 2 weeks, then maybe I need to save up a little bit extra in order to get through that. Because I also need to consider, such as gas fees on Ethereum. Because with those gas fees, they eat up a lot of the fees. So, for example, let's say I have $100, but the gas fee is $50. Just by getting into the trade, I am taking a 50% loss. That is very rough. And that also demonstrates to me why other people, new investors into the space and existing investors, are going into more of the lower market cap projects and blockchains. For example, Phantom, Avalanche, Solana, very low gas fees, faster transactions, and those fees chew away less at the amount that you have. Your principal, the amount you're putting in. So that is another thought. What else I got on this list? Oh, this one's a big one. Okay. I'm looking online and I'm seeing a lot of price predictions models, and they're great because it gives you more or less a roadmap, keeps you calm, saying where are we going, where are we going, if this price or this action doesn't happen by this timeline, then I know maybe something's off, I need to readjust, I gotta look, etc. But I've heard price predictions of what will happen and they never happen. So I'm left thinking, what is it? Is something not going right? What? But I'm breaking up my mindset into two things. Number one, is this still bullish? Is there a lot of developments that are happening? Is there a lot of good signal that I'm seeing just overall, symbolizing to me that this is getting adopted and getting used? Number two, I'm going to wait for a blow off top mania. And until that time comes, I'm just going to treat it as just normal. Hey, here you go. I'm budgeting some money in for this, and keep on accumulating. Why? Because if it's a steady growth, I just want to be a part of the growth. Now, if it comes down to a time where somebody says, hey, I'll pay you double, triple, quadruple of what it's worth because I really, really want this, I go, I can't turn down a good offer. Absolutely, you want it for double, whatever the exceeded amount of value that I think it's worth, then fine. Similar to, yesterday I was waiting in line for something. Now, if somebody were to come up to me and said, "Hey, dude, I will pay you $5," I'd say, "No, I've been, maybe I'm waiting here for half an hour. My time's worth more than $5." He says, "No, you don't understand. I need to get your spot in line," and then perhaps you go to the end of the line so nobody's ticked off. "I'll give you 10. No. And then he drops down, "I will give you $500. Will you do it?" Yeah, all right, fine, sure. Because then I could always go a little bit further back in the line and see somebody and say, "Hey, dude, I'll give you, $20 if I can take your spot," and then I already saved a lot of time. You can put the puzzle pieces together, but that's what I'm thinking about. So in that type of notion, that keeps me calm throughout all the FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, where people are talking about, "Oh my gosh, this could happen, that's happening. Aren't you scared? Aren't you?" I don't know. That I'm just coming to grips with, I do not know. What I do know is that I'm looking at it and Bitcoin seems to be getting adopted more. There was a news article about Twitter doing the Lightning Network and accepting tips with Bitcoin. So I think the Lightning Network is more of a layer 2 solution. So if you were to try to transact Bitcoin, there's a lot of fees, it's slow, etc. So what you do is you put it up on a different project at a higher layer, and you can interact in between and send it. And the fees are really cheap. You can do it really quickly. And then if you decide for whatever reason you do want to reacquire your Bitcoin and have that actual amount, then you can bridge over again or drop down to the layer 1 solution of just Bitcoin and put in your wallet, whatever. So that is in my eyes, very bullish. It's getting adopted, right? And the Cardano Summit, there was mention of Dish, the company with their telecommunications, rewarding loyalty, but with Cardano and also Boost. So to me, again, that seems to be more adoption. You got countries coming in. You got institutions that are wanting Bitcoin ETFs and looking at Ethereum as well. To me, that just, and in addition, the adoption. People are wanting it more. It's not just something that's forgotten, saying, yeah, whatever. So if people are wanting it, it's getting adopted more. To me, that's just bullish, right? And in addition, very, very early to the scene. Ask anybody, do your own survey, and ask how many people do you know that actually do use crypto? Do they know how to buy it in the first place? Maybe they know how to do it just on Robinhood. Do they know how to go to an actual crypto exchange? Do they know how to transfer it to a different wallet? I remember that time for me, and wow, and then realizing wow, I can actually use this, and then by using it, you get to understand some of the complaints, or I got to understand some of the complaints, such as with the gas fees on Ethereum. I have to monitor that and take that into account, because there's certain times where it's just outrageous and you say, I don't care, whatever type of transaction I need to do, it can freaking wait. It can wait. I'm not paying that much, right? So that's, look at that. Oh, you don't see my arm. Okay. All right. I'm having too much fun here, guys. So those are some of the lessons that I learned, and I'm going to adapt in the future. Will I change my strategy even more in future videos? Absolutely. But just figured I'd share that with you guys. So with that being said, class is dismissed. Pieces.